was not interested in that last 2 weeks. Okay. Last, how are you?
सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। व्यासं वसिष्ठनप्तारं शक्तेः पौत्रमकल्मषं पराशरात्मजं वन्दे शुकतातं तपोनिधिं। व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचा मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोत्तं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि। 6th chapter, 10th shloka. योगी युञ्जीत सततम् आत्मानं रहसि स्थितः एकाकीयत चित्तात्मा निराशीरपरिग्रहः शुचौ देशे प्रतिष्ठाप्य स्थिरमासनमात्मनः नात्युच्छ्रितन्नातिनीचं चैलाजिनकुशोत्तरम् तत्रैकाग्रं मनः कृत्वा यतचित्तेन्द्रियक्रियः उपविश्यासने युञ्ज्यात् योगमात्मविशुद्धये समं शिरो ग्रीवं धारयन्नचलं स्थिरः सम्प्रेक्ष्य नासिकाग्रं स्वं दिशश्चानवलोकयन् प्रशान्तात्मा विगतभीः ब्रह्मचारिव्रते स्थितः मनः संयम्यमच्चित्तः युक्त आसीत मत्परः युञ्जन्नेवं सदात्मानं योगी नियतमानसः शान्तिर्निर्वाणपरमा मत्संस्थामधिगच्छति नात्यश्नतस्तु योगोऽस्ति न चैकान्तिकमानसः एकान्तमनश्नतः न चातिस्वप्नशीलस्य जाग्रतो नैव चार्जुन युक्ताहारविहारस्य युक्तचेष्टस्य कर्मसु युक्तस्वप्नावबोधस्य योगो भवति दुःखः. Okay, so last time we saw प्रशांतात्मा विगतभिः ब्रह्मचारि व्रते स्थितः मनः संयम्य मच्चित्तः युक्त आसीत मत्परः. प्रशांतात्मा, okay, प्रशांतात्मा, completely composed mind. विगतभिः, without any fear. Brahmachari vrate sthitaha, who is following the brahmachari vrata and who is completely stable and continuously doing this. What? Manas samyamya macchittaha. Macchitta yuktaha asita matparaha. One has to sit and macchittaha yuktaha manas samyamya. Having controlled the mind, balanced the mind, one has to macchitto yuktaha. I should be in the mind of that person constantly. Okay. And when that person is connected with me, what happens? Yunjannevam sadatmanam yogi niyatamanasah shantin nirvana paramam mat samstham adhigacchati. This yogi Yunjan, Yuj dhatu, Yunjan, okay, being connected, being attached, being completely hooked on. Evam, only, Sada Atmanam Niyatamanasah, completely by himself, who is fixed and who is doing dhyanam, Niyatamanasah, controlling this mind. Shantin nirvana paramam, he will get shanti. Shanti is manas santoshaha, manasa ekagrataha, mana naishchalyata, and nirvana paramam, moksha, mat samstam adhigacchati will come to me. Okay, now having told this, which is antaranga yoga, right from Shuchau Deshe Pratisthapya, that 11th shloka, which is Antaranga Sadhana. After Bahiranga, he completes the benefit of this Antaranga Sadhana in the 15th shloka, and again in the 16th he goes back to Bahiranga Sadhana. Natyashnatastu yogosti nacha ekanta mana ashnataha. One should not eat heavily. A yogi or a person who is regularly into meditation should not eat a lot. Nacha ekanta mana ashnataha. Nor he should be empty stomach because he wants ekanta. No. Completely immersed into it and not eating anything is also incorrect. So you have to not overeat, not undereat. That means you have to eat appropriately. Nachati swapnashilasya jagrato neva cha Arjuna. Ati swapnashilasya nacha ati swapnashila. Ati swapnashila means oversleeping. Na ati jagrataha. Na eva Arjuna. Hey Arjuna, he should not have sleeplessness also, insomnia. No, every time sitting and doing dhyanam, not sleeping, it is wrong. So he should moderately sleep and he should moderately eat. Now this overeating, undereating, not sleeping more, not sleeping less. Okay, and for this eating, I had told Atyashana dati pana yacha ugra pratigrahat tanno varuno raja padina ahyavamarishatu. Ati ashana ati pana. overeating, over drinking, anything for that matter, yacha ugrat pratigraha, it will lead you to a lot of rajoguna. Ugra pratigraha means rajoguna will just increase a lot. With rajoguna, what happens? Mind will not be in sattva. If mind does not be in sattva, what happens? Chanchalam himanah Krishna. I will be always disturbed. कुछ ना कुछ करते रहेगा, कुछ ना कुछ करते रहेगा. So I can't sit in a place. And hence, this overeating, over drinking, under drinking, oversleeping, undersleeping, all these things, we have to be more balanced. The more balanced we are, the more mind is calm, less disturbed the mind is, and that becomes a very, very effective place for doing dhyana. Okay, so conditioning the mind by external vyavahara is what is very clearly the Bahiranga sadhana which has been mentioned. So then he gives a very clear general rule. Yuktahara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkhaha. See, this is the perfect way how the Shastras teach. There is nothing called generalization. Every person is different. Every body is different. Every reflexes are different. Every person's likes, dislikes are different. Every person's strength, weaknesses are different. How can you have a same rule for everyone? Okay, today in the world what we see? Standardization of everything. If you talk of blood pressure, from this range to this range. What happens to the person who is an exception? That person gets treated rather than considering himself to be an exception. He is normal, but he is not fitting in the range which you have decided. Why? Generalization has happened. Correct? Same way, everything when it gets generalized, statistics is a good idea. It's a good servant but a bad master. If you go by statistics, then this individuality does not have any value. Okay. Now when we say each person is different and each person contributes, then where is this generalization? So a certain extent of generalization is there, but at the same time exceptions also need to be there, which has to be very clearly focused. That is why this word yukta is used. What is yukta? Appropriate. Whatever is appropriate for you, that is what needs to be done. For me, 7 hours of sleep may be appropriate. For someone else, 5 hours of sleep may be appropriate. For someone else, 6 hours. You can't generalize and say everyone should minimum sleep 6 hours. Not required. For someone, 1 kilogram of food at a time is required. For other person, half a kilogram. For someone, only 100 grams. Whatever is yukta, where you feel relaxed, the mind is not disturbed, the body physiology activities are going smooth, you are neither drained off nor over energetic, over enthusiastic. No, a calm, relaxed mind where the mind is without any stress, that is yukta. So ahara yukta. And that is why they brought a general statement here. Now look at it. Ardhayet pura. Half of the stomach you eat food. Now when they say half, my stomach and your stomach is different. So half of my stomach and half of your stomach. So again that individuality is considered and of that half is given. So whenever rules are given, it is made very clear that it is specific to you but still can be applied generally. Right? So yukta ahara. Next is what? Yukta vihara. What is vihara? Activity. Karma cheshta. Activity. It can be exercises, it can be walking, it can be your day-to-day activity. Going to office, coming back, doing household work. All these are activities. Okay. Ahara is eating very clearly, everyone knows. So in ahara, there is a general statement. Who eats once in a day is a yogi. One who eats 2 times is a bhogi. One who eats more than 2 times is a rogi. As per Ayurveda, if we are eating 3 times, you have to actually go and check why are we eating more. What is the reason why am I eating more? Right? So, again, when you say eat once a day, again it cannot be atyashana atipana. It has to be ardhamatra of food, 1/4 of water, and balance 1/4 for the air to churn this food and digest it. Okay, so that is why earlier they used to say for a yogi 8 kapalas can be eaten. You know what is a kapala? 1 handful. So only 8 handful of food. That's it. With your hand. It's not like the mother feeding the child. The mother will have such big, then that child will somehow push, further fill it. That child cannot even breathe. Till that the mother wants to keep feeding. No. With your own hand, 8 handful of food is 8 kapalas. Brahmachari can eat 32 kapalas because body is going to, muscles are going to build. Okay, so very clearly a grihastha maximum 12 to 16 kapalas, 2 times. All these are very clearly given so that people understand what is moderation. Going extreme in either side is incorrect. Moderation is called samatvam, samam. Wherever this word samam comes, first look at whether it fits into moderation. Okay, sammatihi, moderation, consensus are all coming together, not going to extremes. Clear? Okay. So, yukta ahara, yukta vihara. Okay. Now, vihara is what? Activity which are related to upkeep of the body, which can be walking, running, jogging, exercises, yogasana, all this will come under yukta vihara. Then yukta cheshtasya karmasu. He has added one more line there. Yukta cheshta. What is cheshta? What is the difference between vihara and cheshta? Cheshta karma. Anyone knows the word meaning of cheshta? Indulgence. Indulgence. Cheshta. When the small children are doing some mischief, Are cheshta band karo. What is cheshta? Don't indulge into that. When you say indulgence, what is a prerequisite in an indulgence? Mind. Mind is a prerequisite in indulgence. Vihara, mind need not be there. Are you able to see the difference? Mind can keep thinking whatever it wants, and activity can just continue because it is for the sthula sharira. Ahara, okay, the content part is for sthula sharira. The quality part is for sukshma sharira. The quantity part is for sthula sharira. The quality part is for sukshma sharira. That is why ahara has got 3 types. Satvika ahara, rajasika ahara, tavasika ahara. What is satvika ahara? Maduram, snigdham, ahara, rasya snigdha. 17th chapter 9th shloka. Ahara satvika, rasya snigdha, hrida, which is good, which is juicy, which has got very little of oiliness. Okay. Ahara Satvika Priya. Then what is Rajasic? Katvam tu lavana ati ushna tikshna ruksha vidahina. Ahara rajasasyeshta dukkha shoka mayaprada. Okay. Katu, bitter. Lavana, salt. Ati ushna, spicy. Tikshna, hot. Aruksha vidahina, that which will give you a lot of thirst. You want to, after eating that food, you feel like drinking more and more water. Normally when you eat food at home, that will not happen. But if you go for a marriage or something, and then after you eat that food, you drink more and more water. Okay. Ruksha vidahinaha. Ahara rajasasyeshta. ये राजा के लिए ठीक है. Why? He wants activity. He wants everything to be quick. Reflexes to be, he should be rajasic. Karma chodana. It should be impromptu. He should be stimulated at all times. These are stimulants. And if you have that, dukkha shoka amaya prada. I will give you dukkha, I will give you shoka, I will give you bad health. That is what Bhagavan says. Too much of indulgence in Rajasic, I will give you all this. Have Sattvic and have, because it is Sattvic, don't eat, overeat. Yuktahara. So right quality, right quantity. Yukta vihara. Okay. One day I will just keep on walking. Another 30 days I will not even walk. That doesn't work. So Yukta vihara. It has to be consistent. It has to be for a period of time. It has to be, activity should be there. Okay. Then Yukta cheshtasya karmasu. Where cheshtasya karmasu. Where you are indulging and doing, like your, whatever you have planned you want to do, whatever is your maybe house related work, office related work, where you have a goal, where you have a focus, mind is fully engrossed into it, right? That is Yukta. Again that Yukta he has told. Not like today where there is no work-life balance. Correct? Continuously work. No time to eat food. All the times it's like either late at night. So the person goes early in the morning, work, comes by 8:30, 9 o'clock. Then by the time some cereal will be there, then 10 o'clock we'll eat. Now after eating, what to do? Immediately can't sleep. So 1 o'clock sleep. Or after eating, if you sleep immediately, all these are going to disturb your normal cycles which are already. That is why they say eating should happen before sunset. Before sunset, the eating should get over. Eating should start after sunrise. Not at night 2 o'clock simply eat. Right? Time pass. Need nahi aa raha hai, time pass. Swaha. No. So there has to be a regulation, there has to be a moderation when, what quality, what quantity, what frequency, what timing, everything for what? Ahara, vihara and work. If you continuously work and you say I have no time for any of these things, what will happen on the day of retirement? Because everything we are planning after retirement we will start. The most miserable day will be the first day after retirement. And biggest problem for the spouse at home. क्या करे मालूम नहीं है. अरे बाबा तुम जाओ डब्बा लेके जाओ बाहर. मेरा जान छोड़ो. Correct? You go out, do whatever you want. You come back during your office time. That is better. Why? You are eating my head. My regular chorus is already getting disturbed. And this is an outcome because we never have planned our retirement with yukta cheshtasya karmasu. How much to indulge in work? Simple. Why are you working? To earn. Either earn money or earn status, fame. Other than that, there is no third reason. If anyone says that I am working for working, could be there, but we leave that. But majority of us are working for earning or for some status. Initially it is money, later on it will be name, power, whatever. Okay. How long it is there? So far as you are working in that place, in that position, so it is that reflected position which is working on you, or your position is decorating that place, whichever way. When you are going to work for your own self, then that yukta cheshtasya karmasu is going to help you. So far as you are working for an organization or for someone, every day a new requirement is going to come. Tell me which day the kachra dabba is empty. Can anyone say which day the kachra dabba that outside, this municipality will come and take that? Can you tell one day this is going to be empty? Never. Because the more the person takes, the more kachra will come and fall on it. It is our job to stop it. This kachra dabba बढ़ते जा रहे हैं ना, उसको बंद करना पड़ेगा थोड़ा. Correct? That means you need to have what in today's world we call me time, my time, only for me. No one including anyone in my house. Then what do you do? Or my friends. I keep seeing something in the mobile. That is not me time. That is again slavery. Time pass hai wo. So when you say me time, you have to cut from everything. Cut from everything. Have a qualitative time for yourself, maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, but this needs to slowly get developed. It doesn't happen one day. You need to put an effort. So, if not anything, 5 minutes, I just close my eyes. This itself is a very big project. Many people can't close their eyes and sit. In between, they'll open and see, "Arey, kya hua? Kuch gira kya? I think someone is coming here." They'll start hallucinating things. आँख बंद करके तुम्हारा घर का अंदर दरवाजा बंद करके, the door is closed, the AC is on, the fan is on, you are seated very comfortably, you know you are not going to fall, you know nothing is going to fall. Again that eyes will open. Why? Cheshta karma is started. So this yukta only should be there. 24/7 cheshta karma cannot be there. What happens to the quality of sleep? That also goes bad. Why? Incomplete activity sitting in the mind and you go to sleep. Very well knowing that there won't be any single day when the mind is, all the activities are going to get complete. Like kachra dabba. Correct? Then somewhere you have to cut it and say, okay, आज दुकान बंद, कल सुबह देखेंगे. एक बार दुकान बंद बोल के लेटे, प्लानिंग हैज स्टार्टेड व्हाट टू डू टुमारो. अब ये सब प्रॉब्लम है ना, कल सुबह उठ के इसको पहला सॉल्व करने का, अदरवाइज माय लाइफ इज गॉन. हैव वी born to solve problems, or because we are living and we are doing activity, problems are coming? What is the cause for what? This question needs to be asked. Am I the adharam for problem, or my existence is on the adharam that problems are there? Because I have a life, I can understand problems is a question, or My existence is there because there is already so much of cheshta. That is why my existence is there. Huh? Doesn't make sense, right? If that was true, like a small child, you would have walked up and started doing work. You didn't do that. You created work for yourself. So you should know how to stop it also. If I know to create, I should know how to stop it. गाड़ी स्टार्ट करके चलाने को आता है, ब्रेक दबाने को नहीं आए तो क्या होगा? एक्सीडेंट हो जाएगा. We need to be very sure before sitting in the vehicle. I know when to put brake, how to do it. Same way for ahara break, for nidra break, for yukta cheshtasya karmasu break, necessary, very much necessary. And you know the worst? Suppose in your to-do list there are 15 jobs pending and you decide, let me sit for 5 minutes and just relax. After that 5 minutes, how miserable we will be. I wasted 5 minutes when so many things are pending. I decided to take a break, and after that 5 minutes, I am miserable, I am so guilty. I start feeling, oh my God, I wasted 5 minutes when I have so much to do. Isn't this atyachar on oneself? We have to think. If you have taken a break, be with it and enjoy that break, and okay, after that anyway I am going to do. And that is why that earlier times, that 8 hours of working was very clear. You never bring the office to home, you never take your office, you never take your home to office. Today there is no home, there is no office, there is office from home, home from office. What do you do? Now in such a situation, secondly, there are no geographical boundaries. When it is daytime for me, that US fellow is sleeping. And when I am going to close, that is the time he will send 5 mails to take away my sleep. When you have sent 5 mails, he has very clearly, I am out of office because it's a bank holiday and my reply will come only after a long weekend. He never even sees it. And here we are every 2 minutes during the leave, send a mail and waiting when he is going to respond back or she is going to respond back. What a useless people we are. Think. So we should be little diligent. Stop means stop. The world is not going to fall down. There is nothing emergency. It's an ongoing activity. We indulge in that because we need to have money. We need to have, with that only the rest of the things will work. But that is not life. Because life is there, you need it. Because of that, I have not been born. Correct? That is not my karma phala that I am being born. It is because of my karma phala that I am born and connected to such an organization. Okay, so if you have got connected, you should also know to disengage from it. At least as a pause. Like every day we disengage from the world and go to sleep. Learn to disengage from the office when you are awake. Learn to disengage from your household chorus when you are awake, for which you need something else. And that me time is going to be, which is going to actually help your mind, refresh your mind, where you can get into anything, reading books, very simple, listening to something, doing some meditation, bhajan, kirtan, anything. Don't say that I stopped my work and I saw this stupid saas bhi kabhi bahuti. Why? Again activity is on. And such a climax, this person has bought that ad and he has stopped it. Tomorrow now I have to see. Over. Blood pressure gone up. That is not relaxation. So we should know what is relaxation. Unfortunately, this surges. People have become so addicted to it that has become relaxation. In the new generation, the game. game, they don't know what anything and wherever. It has taken people's life. Unknowingly just going, falling down, not seeing what is happening, but so behind the game. So we need to have moderation. And that is where this 17th shloka very beautifully says, Yuktahara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu. If you have right ahara, right vihara, and then right cheshta karma, then you also need to have yukta swapna avabodhasya. Swapna here does not mean appropriate dream. Swapiti means to sleep. You need to have a sound sleep. Qualitative sleep, quantitative sleep, which is yukta, in moderation. Because earlier he has said, Nachati swapna shilasya jagrata naiva. You should not oversleep, you should not undersleep. So right quality of sleep, right quantity in moderation, which is needed for this body. It may be a 50 kg or an 80 kg, then sleep accordingly will have to change. Certain days you may sleep more. The alarm rings, but you don't feel like waking up because the body needs that sleep. The mind is still sleeping, the body is still sleeping, and then after about half an hour or 1 hour you wake up, and then you are jumping out of the bed. Oh my God, my life is completely gone because I slept half an hour more. Are we punishing ourselves? What a guilt. Just because I created a habit of putting an alarm. If one day if I had to sleep more, just imagine that you are unwell and you slept. Will you feel guilty? So if one day if the body says you have to sleep, why should one feel guilty? Wake up and be happy that I slept 1 hour more today. I'm fresh. I can do things better, more efficiently than what I did earlier, and then get started. Slowly do things. Okay, so getting that mind not to disturb with all these things is something which is required. Because any disturbance, especially in the start of the day, continuously will be there lingering throughout the day, and any wrong happening, we will start, today's day is bad. Why? I woke up itself late. वहाँ से शुरू हो गया दिन. Right? So that shouldn't happen. किसी को कोसना नहीं है. We have to just be with it. If the body needs it, keep it. And yukta, you should be very clear. One should not feel guilty of any of these things. Okay? If this is there, you don't need a cheat day. You understand? Today now, because of excessive indulgence in something, you need a cheat day. How logical? Correct? How illogically logical it is. I make a mistake, and to correct it, I do a contra mistake. So a cheat day. These things are not there. There is no cheat day at all. Cheating whom? Yourself. From whom? Yourself. So foolish. So you need to be in moderation, and if you have decided one day something different, you do not need to, you should not be guilty about it. Just own it up. Mind is calm then. Don't allow it to disturb your mind. That is the point. Any of these things should not allow disturbance of your mind being tranquil or in focus. Clear? This is very much needed for a person into meditation. Why? Any such disturbances will have a lingering effect, and that will come out first when you sit for meditation. So suddenly Krishna remembers, let me sum up all the Bahiranga in a proper way, that take care of these things. Do not feel खुद को कोसना मत, and just go there. Why? He had told earlier, उद्धरेदात्मनात्मानं नात्मानं अवसादयेत्. खुद को कोसते मतलब क्या है? Atmanam avasadayat. I can only pull myself, I can only push myself. So in the moment you pull yourself, no one else can push you up. It can never happen. Because you are the Lord of yourself. Others can only help out, but finally it's your decision to accept it or not. Okay? Ciao. Before going ahead, because there is one yada viniyatam chittam, this word comes. Before that, we need to 100% see Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga, because that is connected to it. Okay? And it is assumed that all these are known. That is why Krishna has jumped and straight away gone to yada viniyatam chittam. Patanjali Maharishi's Ashtanga Yoga has two aspects. One is the Kriya aspect, okay, or the, as you say, the application app. How to get the benefit practically. One is a theory, other is practically how to get the benefit. Perfectly good, very, very useful to us. But the theory part of it, Vedanta will not accept it. Because Patanjali Rishi's yoga is a Dvaita philosophy, and Vedanta Advaita will not accept it, where even in Brahma Sutra it has been negated on yoga, on the theory part of it and the principles, where Brahman and Prakriti, they are two different. That part is not accepted. This is coming from Sankhya, because the practical part of it is in yoga. The steps of Ashtanga Yoga is very, very useful to us, so we take that. And this chapter is related to the steps of Ashtanga Yoga and not the theory of what Patanjali Maharshi has actually given in his Darshana. Is it clear? Right. Now when we go to this, the steps of Ashtanga Yoga, we will see. Angani means limbs, parts. When we say Anga, are they sequential or any can be taken? For example, I have limbs in my body. Head, two hands, two legs, one trunk. These are limbs in my body. Should I have a particular way to first consider this one, then followed by this one, then followed by, or I can individually see whichever I want? Correct? So some of the limbs have to be sequential, some of the limbs have to be, it can be ad hoc or at random or need based. You can understand it. In Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga, two things are happening. The practicality part, it needs to be sequential. You can't have a samadhi and then coming to niyama. You can't have a dharana followed by pratyahara. No. To that extent, there is a clear sequence. But at the same time, when you are in a particular thing, you yourself will know that some anga, some part of some anga is weak for me. So when I am doing dhyana, if my breathing is not regular, then I myself understand that it is disturbing me. That's why my pranayama has to become a little more regular. Are you getting it? Or if some thought comes in my mind which is regularly disturbing me, then I know some of my yama niyama has not come is proper. So to that extent, this forward, backward interconnections are very much there, and that is for each person it will be different. But one has to be sensitive. Understand that, work on it, and then go ahead. Because that becomes a stumbling block. All this should be an enabler. So far as it is neutral or enabling, you don't have to worry. If something is a stumbling block and you don't realize it when you are in that step, when you go ahead, you understand that that is actually now troubling me. You need to come 4 steps behind, overcome that by doing some sadhana, and then go back and connect. Is it clear? So when we say Anga Angi, that Patanjali Ashtanga Yoga is very clearly, as last time I had mentioned, on a very, very gross way, it is a continuous path to refine the mind to the highest possible. From a very gross mind to Sukshmat Sukshmataram, a very, very, very subtle mind, and the more subtle mind you go, the more it has pervasion, the more it has got strength, ability. The grosser you go, less is the ability, lesser is the pervasion. For example, my hand has got a limited scope. As much I can stretch my hand, that much is my scope. But my mind scope is far ahead of that. I can simply think of America and the mind has gone to America. I can think of France, it has gone there. I can think of the hell, it has gone there. I can think heaven, it has gone there. So Sukshma and Ati Sukshma, more and more pervasion will be there and more strength is there. So if you want a strength in the body, the strength has to come from the mind. That mind will get strength from the will. Are you seeing it? So that much ability, it is like very subtle it goes, that much more potent it becomes. Right? Okay. Now what are these steps in Ashtanga Yoga? First is the gross. Okay. And when we take the Yama Niyamadi Dasha, the 10 different sadhanas or vratas, they are all vratas. 10 vratas there. And if we follow this 10 vratas, we are actually taking care of Bahiranga sadhana of what we mentioned in the 6th chapter. Bahiranga sadhanani are covered in this 10 Yama Niyamadi vratas. What is the first? Yama. Yama, as the name goes, be away. Beware, यहाँ खतरा है, इसके नजदीक मत आओ. What are the yamas? Anyone can say? Some me time for myself. Someone has started, the score has started. First is Ahimsa. Okay, then. Second. First is Ahimsa. Second. What did I tell? These are vratas. Vrata means observances which you observe. And for observing that, you need to put effort. For putting an effort and observing, you should need to know what it is. And for needing to know what it is, you should remember what it is. We are learning the 6th chapter of Nididhyasana without remembering ABCD. Sometimes we have to ask, na? Then only we will start scratching our head. Because we have already booked and kept it. I have written notes, we have booked it. So it's booked and kept. पुस्तक में, लेकिन my dear friends, जब तक मस्तक में नहीं है, it will not work. The reality is that. मस्तक में लेके आना पड़ेगा. जितना आप वॉल्यूम भर के पुस्तक लिखोगे उतना लाइब्रेरी बन जाएगा. May be useful to someone else, but not useful to you. Sorry, थोड़ा कड़वा है, but that's a reality. Because we have gone into that very, very what do you call that? This is one of the jobs on Saturday morning. क्या 9:30 बजे बैठने का, 11 बजे तक बैठ के कुछ ना कुछ लिखने का, ग्रंथ छापने का. So, first is ahimsa. Second, satya. Third, asteya. Fourth, brahmacharya. Fifth, aparigraha. Okay, what are the five? Ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha. Again, वापस पुस्तक में ही जा रहा है. थोड़ा वो पेन नीचे डाल के मुंह खोल के जोर से बोलना, भले म्यूट में रहेगा, वो थोड़ा मस्तक में जाने दो. Even you may not know any meaning, doesn't matter. Please by heart this 5 words. Ahimsa, satya, asteya, aparigraha, brahmacharya, aparigraha, pancha niyama, pancha yama. What is it? Ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha, pancha yama. Again. Ahimsa, aparigraha, pancha. Okay, very good. Now I am going to call names and ask them to repeat. Okay, Nimisha ji, please repeat.
Panchayama, ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha.
Okay, Vandana Kulkarni ji, please repeat. Sequence. Ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha. Okay. Next, Vinita Srivastav ji. Satya, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha. ठीक. Okay. Next, who is Suman Saraf ji. आज सबका चांस है, सबको बोलना है आज. Good. Next, whoever wants, come on. Everyone should tell.
Ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha.
Very good. Yes. Next.
Ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha.
Very good. Next.
Ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, और aparigraha.
Okay. Next.
Sir, can I say? Satya, ahimsa, asteya.
Ahimsa, satya. See?
aparigraha.
Ahimsa, satya. Ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha. Correct. Next.
Ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha.
Correct. Next.
Panchayama, ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha.
Correct. Next. You know why I did this? बयाट हो जाते हैं. सबके साथ सबका विकास. चलो. Come on. See, don't make it ya. Ahimsa, Satya.
Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, Aparita,
Correct.
Panchayama.
Correct. Anyone else? Anyone missed out? Tell. Brahmacharya नहीं, Brahmacharya. हाँ, correct. Okay. Anyone left out? हाँ.
Panchayama, Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, Aparita.
Very good. Anyone else? Chalo. I presume others know it. It's okay. The idea was everyone should get familiar with these words. एक बार लिखे तो नहीं है, technical words है, 10 बार बोले तो मुंह में बैठेगा. और एक बार, now when we look at it, you will be able to connect better. Okay. What is ahimsa? Non-violence. Na himsa iti ahimsa. Himsa is what? Himsa is manasa, vacha, karmana. Either by mind or by words or by action, hurting someone or killing someone. Whatever way you say, that is ahimsa. Not to do that. Correct? So this is a vrata. What is a vrata? It is not natural to me. I have to be sensitive. I have to remember it. And I have to put it in practice whenever an occasion comes. Okay. For example, you cannot say that, okay, now right now in the class, what should I do for ahimsa? What should I do for ahimsa? No, no. In the class, if that mosquito comes and sits on you, that time when you do this, you have to remember ahimsa. Okay, so whenever there is an occasion, it is a vrata. So I have to be very, very sensitive about it, that I have taken a vow, I will not hurt. Okay. First starts with gross karmana. 10 days karmana practice. So what we do, we take this as one resolution or sankalpa for first 15 days or 10 days. By my action, I will not hurt anyone or any jantu. Okay, anything which is born in this bhumi, I will not hurt, which will include trees onwards up to dinosaur. Okay, but what should I do when something comes to, it's a threat to me? I first learn to run. If that is not possible, then only for saving your life, it is called apad dharma, you have a possibility to kill. When you say ahimsa, we shouldn't be like our dear Arjuna. Because in chapter 1 he believed ahimsa eva paramo dharma. I will not. Buddhu, you are a kshatriya, and if you say I will not do dharma, killing after samadana bheda, will not come under this. Even a king has to first use the rest three, samadana bheda, then danda comes. Okay, so you imagine a judge sitting, no, I will not punish this person by ahimsa eva paramo dharma, then you are not doing swadharma. That is a big problem. So we should know where to properly interpret it and where not to misinterpret it, or use it with our perverted intelligence for our own benefit. No, not do that. Whichever is within our control, where we should not hurt anyone. First is on body level. Start that. Then a question will come. Sir, can I put this good night and morning? Action, na? Sir, if I don't do that, these mosquitoes are having everyday nice khana on me only. They are enjoying it. Now what should I do? Ahimsa eva paramo dharma. See, this is where in dharma such cross things will come, and we should have a clarity what it is. Why are we doing it? Because we become insensitive. Okay. Which is better? Good night or that electrical racket?
Racket.
Which is better? Which is more himsa, which is less himsa? Chalo. Yet, this is where we have to apply. Bolo?
Night.
Why good night? Why good night? Exactly. You are giving a freedom for it to go away from that place. Because they can sense it, they can go away from it. They need not sit there and die. Right? But if they decide to die, that's their choice. If you close everything and then put good night, then yes. If you keep everything open, put the good night and allow it to go, no problem. Okay. But worse than that is the racket. Because you are not giving it a chance at all. What is better than good night now?
Mosquito.
Now do you understand? How when options are there, it is our choice. Don't say it is choiceless situation. Don't bring a choiceful situation into choiceless and justify what wrong things we are doing. That means we don't have an idea to change ourselves, but we are just justifying what our likes and dislikes are. And that is not a vrata. Then you don't have to even follow, you don't have to remember ahimsa also. At least ahimsa ko kalankit mat karna. Samajh mein aa raha hai? Okay. First is karmana. Now understand what happens. Is the karmana coming by itself or is it driven by your manasa? The choice what you want to use, is it coming from karmana or is it coming from manasa? So there itself, through the karmana, you have slowly touched the manasa. Correct? We have to be sensitive to. I have decided this. I may have some inconvenience, and that is why it is called a vrata. If it is comfortable and convenient to you, it is not a vrata. But at the same time, you should not pain yourself. Even if I get dengue and if I get this, let me die. But the mosquito should survive. That is stupidity. Do you understand? Right? Go with the first basic level that if given a choice, I will live first. It is your right to live. So much as it's the mosquito's right to live by itself, so you cannot kill it, but you can give it an option to run away. Is it clear? Now, same thing can come further in ahimsa, indirectly, direct taxes, indirect taxes. I am not killing, but I am having non-veg. Then the logic to it is, even if I don't have, you mean to say that that guy is not going to kill that animal, there are 10 people who will eat. So I am not the reason of it, but I didn't kill. So it is not himsa. This is where the manobhava comes into the picture. How vikriti it is. It will start justifying. Okay, if the magazine says smoking is injurious to health, I stop. What? Reading the magazine. Not smoking. Exactly like that. Don't get into that wrong way of justifying things. So, maybe if I am eating all non-veg, certain days I try to stop. Start slow. Correct? Cheat day for myself. That is going to work good. Let me cheat myself. No. Then slowly, today only egg. Find out your own ways. I'm just giving ideas. You have to find your own ways to slowly get into more and more refinement where we become sensitive of this. If we are not sensitive at this gross level, where is that refinement and sensitivity of mind going to come? बहुत दूर है वो. Correct? I understand Vedanta. I can say Aham Brahmasmi and give pravachanam, but like our teacher says, बोलने का मुंह में नारायणा और पहला तोड़ने का मंदिर. ये एक क्या मतलब है? मुंह में नारायणा नारायणा बोल के मंदिर पहला तोड़ने का. ये दिस इज यूजलेस. डोंट डू दैट. उससे अच्छा नारायणा भी मत बोलो, मंदिर भी मत तोड़ो. That is better. So we should not fool ourselves. Start with ahimsa. First is manasa. First is karmana. Then you can take another 15 days, 1 month. I will be very, very sensitive to the words I use which can hurt someone. Words. You know that tongue? It is tougher than a sword, although it doesn't have a bone in it. एक बार बोल दिया तो तीर कमान से निकल गया मतलब निकल गया. You can't say after that, sorry, I didn't mean it. वो सब जगह नहीं रखते. Let's be clear. Sorry, I didn't mean it का जगह ही नहीं है. बोल दिया ना, that means I was not sensitive even to think what it is. So stop. Think. Decide the choice of words. Properly think. If I'm going to say it, is it going to impact the other person anyway negatively? Then I should not do it. Many a times asking a question is a very nice way of making the person understand rather than telling you have done this. Suppose someone does something and it's wrong. And you say, should you do this? Is it correct? Rather than that, isn't there a better way of doing it? Now it is not hurting, but at the same time what you want, you are able to communicate. It's a vrata, because you have your natural way of responses and that has to get modified over a period of time. That means only when I am sensitive about it, I will work towards it. Okay. So, first is karmana, then vacha, then manasa. Once that whole program has got refined, if you have removed the bug from the program, then future whatever you apply, that program will run smoothly. And once you have got a particular level for yourself, you will not want to come below that level. Then maintain it. Okay. This is related to ahimsa. Next one is what? Satya. Again the same story. Manasa, vacha. What is Satya? Satyam vada. What is Satya? What have you to do to speak truth? जो है सो है वैसा ही बोल देना है. सत्यम वदा मीन्स
ये बोलना नहीं है, जो है सो है वो सत्य है.
Here when we say these are all kriyatmaka. Ahimsa is a kriyatmaka word. Satya is a kriyatmaka word. We are not talking of Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. No, it is a Kriyatmaka. That means it is only related to Vada. Satyam Vada. And what we do? Satyam Vadha. You know difference between Vada and Vadha? Vada means to kill. Vada is to speak. Small the, big the. Satyam Vada means please kill the truth. So don't do Satyam Vada, do Satyam Vada. What is Satyam Vada? Anritam Avada. That is Satyam Vada. Anritam means Jhuta. Avada means don't speak. To speak the truth, you don't need effort. For not speaking the lie, you have to put an effort. समझ में आ रहा है? सच बोलने के लिए एफर्ट की जरूरत नहीं है. झूठ नहीं बोलने के लिए आपको बहुत सारा एफर्ट करना पड़ता है. तो सत्यम वदा इन क्रिया विल मीन अनृतम अवदा. ओके, अगर झूठ नहीं बोलना है तो मैं क्या करूं? दिख रहा है जो है वो सच दिख रहा है, इधर तक आया लेकिन बोल नहीं पा रही हूं या बोल नहीं पा रहा हूं बिकॉज इट इज गोइंग टू हर्ट समवन. अहिंसा बोल दिया है, आई हैव ऑलरेडी प्रैक्टिस्ड अहिंसा. इफ आई डू दैट, इट इज एन हिंसा टू दैट पर्सन. नाउ आई एम स्टक बिटवीन, शुड आई कंटिन्यू विथ अहिंसा और एट द कॉस्ट ऑफ अहिंसा टेल सत्य. समझ में आ रहा है? अब झूठ मेरे से सहा नहीं जाएगा तो मुझे सच बोलना है. सच बोला तो सामने वाले को दुख होगा, दुख हुआ तो वो हिंसा हुआ. तो सच को भी कैसे पकड़ के रखें और हिंसा भी नहीं करें. Are we able to get? This is actually, I am telling you, more than the Bhagavad Gita. These are the things we have to really focus and implement.
मौन रहे.
मौनम सर्वार्थ साधनम. सबसे पहला मौन रहे. mouthshut.com. Does this mean you are insensitive?
No.
तो मौन रहे बोला तो भी प्रॉब्लम आने वाला है. डोंट यू हैव अ ड्यूटी टुवर्ड्स द सोसाइटी टू, समथिंग इज रॉन्ग, मौन रह के एक्सेप्ट करना भी गलत ही हुआ. देखो इसी को धर्म संकट बोलते हैं. बिटवीन टू धर्मास व्हाट शुड आई चूज इज कॉल्ड धर्म संकट. बिटवीन अधर्म एंड धर्म द चॉइस, देयर इज नो चॉइस एट ऑल. यू हैव टू फॉलो धर्म, drop the adharma. Only between two dharma when it comes, which should I choose is dharma sankata.
It can also happen that because I keep it silent, but somebody else who are not physically present may get hurt at a later point of time. The problem is possible.
Anything. So, keeping silence is one possibility. Now it all depends on keeping silence on what. Let me give a very simple example. I am nagging my wife. Here maunam sarvartha sadhana. Here there is no question of anything else. So it depends on what situation, what you have to use. But if there is a grave situation where it is going to impact others because of your silence, then you can't be silent also. Where there is need to be silence to just diffuse the situation, then be silent. Okay, now I am a doctor. A patient has come in front of me and I tell the patient, I just saw your biopsy. 4th stage of cancer. Normally as per medical terminology, you should not be surviving next 1 hour. Satyam. That person, if he was to live for next 4 months, he would die right there itself. Thank you, doctor. Moksham dadami. Correct? That is not Satyam Vadana. Because you have done himsa to that person. Huh? Again, in the 17th chapter, very beautifully given how Satyam has to be spoken. Satyam In Vak Tapas it comes. Satyam, Priyam, Hitam. Three things have to be considered, and then the word has to come out. First, am I telling the truth? Second, Priyam, will it be accepted and appreciated by the other person? So the choice of word should be, or the intent should be very, very clearly coming from the choice of word, that it is coming out of my love and affection to you, that I want to tell you this. Priyam. Not to show one upmanship above the other. It's not coming out of an ego. It is coming out of genuine love, that I care for you and hence I tell you. Third is Hitam. How by telling it, it is going to benefit that person. Okay. Vak Tapas it is called. Vak Tapas. I need to tell the truth. I need to make it so acceptable, and I also need to ensure that it is intrinsically taking care of the benefit of the person who is hearing it. So just to butter that person, I never say something because it is said Priyam. Priyam, Hitam, but Satyam. And we always know such kadwa hai. तो कड़वा सच को मीठा शहद में डाल के प्यार से देना है, ताकि that truth will also do the work and the person will also not feel hurt about it. It's a very big art. Many of the successful people have this in them. They can still tell the truth without hurting you, and which is for your good, which you will realize few days later only, much later. But that's an art, and it needs to get developed. It won't come by itself. So the choice of words, can it be misunderstood? So you think 100 times and then remove one sentence out. Okay. That is where that maunam also should be very carefully used. You can't be just keep that maunam to decide how you want to tell. Again, the timing. At the wrong time, if you tell even the right thing, it will go bad. Wait for the right time. Let वो शांत होने दो हर चीज. उसके बाद भी बोल सकते. When it is not a life and death situation, you can always have a choice of time. Right? Like typically we see someone is driving little rashly, you say, hey, don't drive rashly. And then that person accident हो गया. I told you, you are driving so rashly. अरे तुम सत्य बोल रहा हो. You may be right, but you are at the wrong time. That's not going to change the situation, right? When to tell? After everything, that person is back home, there is all that healing and all has happened, and then you see, don't you really feel that it is going to cost your life? The person can think about it. Okay, so when to tell, what to tell, how to tell. This is your Satya Vrata. These things are toughest. I am telling you, try it out. Genuinely try it out for even 1 week, then you know how tough they are. And that is why they are Mahavratas. Do this. This itself, you will see a lot of what will happen. This is Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti. That 10 Yama Niyama Palanam, if you do, it is Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti. Very clearly. You don't need to do anything more. And for that, one virtue, 1 month. Another one technique is given for this, FIR technique. the frequency. So every day evening, just give me a second, I have to put charger. The charge is yeah. So when you look at it, if you take one vrata per month, first month I do only ahimsa. So I keep a book. This book is my personal book which I am not going to share with anyone. So what I do is, evening before going to sleep or night before going to sleep, I think what all with respect to ahimsa I have done in that day where it has gone wrong. I did not follow, or I could not follow 100%. There were options, but I chose, for whatever reason, I did not choose that. I did something else. Just note it down. You will not even read it again, but note it down. Noting it on the book is noting it on the mind. The next day you will be sensitive of these 10 things what you have noted. So the next day when you sit to write, it will be lesser only. Then maybe in 1 or 2, 3 days you will see that the numbers have started reducing. But you have to be honest to yourself. Don't fool yourself. अरे it should reduce बोल के मैं एक ही लिखता हूँ. जितना है सब लिखो. एक दिन बढ़ गया, एक दिन कम हुआ, doesn't matter. But the idea is, once you are sensitive about it, the next day, the next chance when such a thing comes, you will have a different response to the situation. You will not react. You will respond to the situation. Response requires thought and then action. Reaction doesn't require a thought. Okay, you are just, whatever is the stimulus, you are just doing something without thinking. Like that, for 1 month, if you take only ahimsa, after 1 month you stop it. Next month, start with satya. Focus on satya. Now, ahimsa is already being practiced by you for a month. You mean to say that it will go off? It has become one of your subtle natures now. So that will continue. That subtle nature will help you to build satya fast. Because it's a virtue. Okay. And then work on satya. Then you take the third one. Like that, if you do, you need 10 months to complete all the yama and yamas together. The next 2 months, take all of them together and practice it. In 1 year, you would have changed internally in a much bigger way, which you can understand, others can understand, and you feel happy about it. Otherwise, if you don't do anything and putting a conscious effort consistently for a period without changing that objective is a vrata. Don't do today I will do satya, tomorrow I will do asteya, day after tomorrow brahmacharya. Nothing will happen. For 10 years you do also, nothing will happen. Okay, and this needs to be done. Why? Dharmanchara. You don't have to speak dharma, you have to do it. If I need to get the virtue, I need to do the sadhana, I need to put effort. That is called tapas. I am coming out of my comfort zone and trying to do something. Is it clear? Okay. Now the third one is asteya. Stena means chor. Steya means chori. Asteya means chori nahi karna. Okay. Again, this is manasa vacha karmana. Most of us, we know we are not doing this karmana chori to a great extent. But manasa vacha chori, we do it. Someone else has put an effort, nothing. My son comes with 98% marks in 10th standard. And I go and tell everyone, you know my son, 98% marks. You know my daughter, 98% marks. You know my son, 99% marks. What has happened in this? Who put effort and who is taking the benefit out of it? Then what should I do? You'll say, what? This is so simple. My son, my daughter, yes, Satya. 99% marks, Satya. I'm telling the truth. Why do you feel that I will get that? Yes. Why did you go and tell 10 people? What is the motive of telling 10 people? Tell me that.
To take the credit.
Without that you didn't tell. Correct? I had in my mind that everyone should say, oh, your son, so nice, so lucky you are. And we say, proud parents. Huh? Correct, na? Then what will be the satyam for this?
To tell my son to go and tell everyone that he will get that credit.
You mean to say your son will come to your friend and tell that? Not possible. You want to give information. You don't want the credit. You want to give the credit to your son or daughter who is credit worthy. How will I do it? That is one way, but then I want people to know also, right? There is no harm in people knowing it. I am not boastful about it, but there is no harm in people knowing it. Or for example, someone asked, hey, your son was in 10th standard, what happened? What do you do that time? Information. Yeah, tell me. What is the answer?
Using his name.
What?
For example, if someone is like Varun got this much.
So you say Varun got 98%. So what does the other person say? So lucky you are.
It is all his hard work.
You are so nice. Wow, you must be feeling very proud about it, na?
All his hard work. And God's grace.
So what will you say actually? I am the lucky father or mother of this boy who got 98%. Now he has come in front and I get a reflected image.
Yeah.
Rather than saying my son, my daughter, it is my reflected image that my intelligence, because of that he has got it. Not because of his or her effort. Choice of words, please understand. Unknowingly our mind comes out that way because that is what we think. It is not, no, I can tell like this also. Why didn't you tell that way? Because I wanted to take that credit. There is something which is pushing me to tell it that way when I had a choice to say that this boy, Varun, got 98% and I am lucky to be that boy's father or mother and we are really happy about it. And he really got it because of his effort. How many people tell this like this? After telling this, they will say, oh, you are no, it is all his effort only. We tell that, but that becomes secondary. What we want to convey, my son got 99%. So it is not son getting 99%, mine is important. Please understand, this is called stena, chori karna. अच्छा से चोरी करना and in a very, very social, legitimate way chori karna. No one will put you behind bars. They'll say, "Ah, you're telling the truth." But I'm fooling myself. I'm fooling myself. Think. Make sense? Okay, so this is where choice of words, how we communicate Satyam will also bring Asteya. Think about it. They are also connected. If like this you say Himsa will never happen. Himsa by words will never happen. Think. When four people are standing and talking and someone says like this, the other person will say, what this person feels, only he has done or what? Only she has done. Maybe itna kiya hai. हाँ, झगड़ा चालू हो गया हिंसा का वजह से. Why? Satya has not been put properly. Why? I did stena and took wrongly the credit to me. Although I may not mean it, but my choice of words made someone feel it that way. Why? I didn't think and I'm not sensitive how to put that, how to communicate it properly. See how much it can drive this mind away. एक झगड़ा उधर चालू हुआ तो उसके बाद where is your mind with what? अहिंसा, सत्य, everything gone. फिर उसके बाद देखो, then only सरस्वती कटाक्ष. तुम ये बोला तो मैं जुगलबंदी चालू हो गया. What happens to all this? That time we will not think maunam. This is where you have to be maunam. So we have to be very judicious and highly alert when we are doing this. These are Mahavratas. You have to be highly alert every moment, because surrounding me are all going to be situations provoking me to go back to my old way. And I have to be very cautious that I should not slip into that, because I am practicing how to come out of that daldal, right? If I am happy in that daldal, why will I practice this Mahavrata?
So should we add by God's grace?
You add whatever you want, but you have to communicate it properly that you don't take it to yourself. Okay? And many a times when people say all these things, you all know that it is so superficial that they want to take the credit also that God's grace has come because of them. वो इतना मतलब अच्छा बनके भाई सोमा because of this हम तो तुच्छे. अरे don't fool everyone, don't fool yourself. वो भी मत करो. Be very clear, be simple, be practical, be factual.
So because that favorable situation is created due to God's grace.
God didn't create anything. Even if your child did not study, the situation was the same way. God created only that. The choice was ours. So how do you want to put it is yours. Grace and all is there, but effort is His. Correct? First look at the effort, grace, then tell, and then close it. Be, what I am saying is be sensitive. दूसरा किसी का अपने पे मत लो. ये communication inability है. Because that's how that transactional world is. As much as we say golden bangle, where it should be bangly gold, we continue to say golden bangle. We continue to say earthen pot, not pot made out of earth. We don't say it that way. Because transaction, communication is made that way. But sitting in that framework, how to still tell the Satya, how to be Asteya, is where your creativity and your sensitivity comes into picture. Even if you are sensitive and you put effort to change one word there, that is good enough. You may not be perfect, you may not, that art of putting it that way, what exactly is in your mind will come slowly, but somewhere we have to start. Does it make sense? Okay. Now fourth comes Brahmacharya. Brahmacharya, last time I had mentioned, I will tell you something. I don't know whether you all remember, it was 15 days back. And
So
it
next
had,
time you will tell us.
correct. And it came in which particular shloka?
14th or 14th.
14. Correct. Prashantatma vigatabihi brahmachari vrate sthitaha. Brahmacharya vratam I was mentioned. Now, brahmacharya vratam has 8 things which one should not do. Now, again, here I am not going to shadow it by telling Brahma Charanam, thinking about Brahman. No. We are normal people who are not yogis, we are grahasthas, we are brahmacharis, or we are vanaprasthas, or we are not sannyasis. So, first let us understand what is brahmacharya vratam as per this. Sitting into our framework and not a yogi's framework or a sannyasi's framework. Sannyasi's framework is a different framework. Okay. So here, 8 things a person should not do. And this is what is for sannyasi's framework. When it comes to a real brahmacharya vrata for a sannyasa, or really firmed up mind, there it is smaranam kirtanam kaileha preshanam guhaya bhashanam samakalpo adhyavasayascha kriya nirveriterevacha etan maithunamsham thagam Pravadanti Manishinam. This is Yajnavalkya Smriti. It is coming from Yajnavalkya Smriti. Yajnavalkya says very clearly 8 things should be avoided. First, Darshanam. Darshanam is looking at the opposite gender. Or today we have to also include the same gender with the mindset of looking. Whichever way you want to put. Because here we are referring to the thought. And we are not referring to the object. The thought which provokes a desire is from darshanam. So first, darshanam should be avoided. Then sparshanam, touch. Okay, because touch is a very strong instinct and touch should be avoided. Third one is keli. Okay. Keli means play. Khelte na. Khel has come from this only. Keli. Play. Do not play unwantedly because that will give you desires. Okay. Fourth one is kirtana. Praising the other gender. Gun gaate na. You are so beautiful, you are that, you are handsome, you are wo hai, vaisa hai. No. Because that will give you a remnant. Then guhya bhashana, privately talking. छिप के जो बात करते हैं ना, गुह्य भाषण, that. Then sankalpa, determination. Any determination you do, sankalpa, okay, which is connected to this should be avoided. All these are varjanama. Any one of this, if it is done, the brahmacharya vrata is broken. Seeing, sparshanam, keli, kirtanam, guhya bhashanam, sankalpa. Then adhyavasaya, or going near or close to the person for gratification as a thought. That is called adhyavasaya. Not to go close with this in the mind. Okay. And last is kriyani vritti. That is the actual act. So brahmacharya vratam has got 7 of these should be completely avoided. And that is where sannyasis have to follow everything 100%. Students have to follow 100% of all this. Okay.
So,
Sankalpa is going with an intention for gratification anywhere. Suppose, नहीं यार इसको पटाएंगे, हो गया. That is sankalpa. ये person को पटाना है. This is a sankalpa because now that is going to push everything. Okay, that sankalpa itself should not be taken. The moment you say, no, this is varjanam right now to me, then you are following the vrata. Thought will come. But how not to follow it is the question. How to evade that thought is the question. Okay, and one should not feel guilty when thought comes, because thought coming is natural. My response to the thought is from my will. Is it clear? Okay. Same way, this particular thing, Brahmacharya Vrata for a Grihastha is given in Manusmriti. Manusmriti, 3rd chapter, 50th Shloka, very clearly says, Nindya swashtasu chanyesu striyo ratrishu varjayan brahmacharya eva bhavati yatra tatrashrame vasan. Very, very explicitly, being in Grihastha you can continue with Brahmacharya Vrata if you comply with these laws. And for which, in the same chapter from 45 to 49, all the laws are given. What to be done, what not to be done is given. And one who follows that is actually following Brahmacharya Vrata being Grihastha. And this is the rule which Krishna applied and passed the test when Uttara's womb was to be killed by a Brahmastra, by Ashwatthama. When Ashwatthama wanted to kill all the children of the Pandavas, apart from killing everyone who were born, Uttara had Arjuna's child in the womb, and even he wanted to kill that child, so he left a Brahmastra. And that time the knowledgeable people said that whoever is perfectly undergoing Brahmacharya Vrata, who is a Brahmachari, if that person touches the womb of Uttara, the child will not die. So it is now the test. Agni Pariksha of everyone. If you go there and if you fail, the child only, not only the child, even you're gone. So no one was ready. Only Krishna came. 16,000 wives and Brahmacharya Vratam possible. Please understand this. Our Shastra will never talk of something which is impossible. And on the days of Brahmacharya Vratam, all the 8 things are abstained. They are not easy, because Vratams are there for which are instinctive to get cultured. You do a Vratam which is instinctive and natural to culture it. Eating is instinctive. I culture it by doing certain maybe fastings and few things where I am doing few things by which I am slowly regulating it, controlling it, mastering over it. Are we clear? What is Brahmacharya Vrata? Okay. If anyone wants to know what in Grihastha is Brahmacharya Vratam, ask me, I will tell you. There are 4 shlokas which very clearly is told. None of them are being observed or even applicable today. Okay. I will not anything tell more than that. None of them can be observed because they are not even, people are so away from these that they have no idea also that there is something like this. There is something like this. And if this is accepted because if Smriti tells, Shruti is backing it. There is a Shruti backing for this. So none of this today, these rules and regulations are not even there for us. We are not even aware. Just imagine that you go to a particular small city where there are no traffic rules at all. Something is happening. People are still moving. How will that be? If they are not even aware that signals can be there, lanes have to be there, following the lanes, cutting the lanes, all these traffic rules, not to take a turn like this, not to honk. None of these things are even there. What do you do? We are in that world today. We are in that world today because none of these things are even aware that it is there. Okay, and to be aware, first we should know what is Tithi. That itself is not there, it's all calendar. Sankashti Chaturthi only people know. कोई व्रत कर रहा है बोल के, otherwise even that is not known. So what I am saying is, vratas are not simple. And when you want to do things like brahmacharya vrata, it is tough. And that toughness need to come. Once it comes, then regulation is easy. Once regulated, then you can decide, because you become the Swami of yourself. And that is the whole idea is, I become the master of myself. I do not become a slave of some of these things which are either food, sleep or basic things. Ahara, nindra, vayamaitunancha, samanametat, pashubhir narana. For Pashu it is there, for Nara also it is there. If I am going to behave like Pashu, then what is the difference? Dharmo hitesho adhiko visheshaha dharma vihina pashubhis samanaha. That dharma itself is not there. I am not different than that animal. That animal at least will go as per the instinct. That animal is one animal, by smelling will know which is a veg and non-veg and will never eat, may die. But we are not that way also. We fool ourselves so much, we are worse than that animals. So some amount of regulation and restrictions we have to put for ourselves so that our mind is more equipoised, and little amount of this, that is why Jala Pakshiva gives some freedom, but at the same time focus cannot be installed. Right? We will continue this because I want this Yama Niyama followed by Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, and then we will go back to Viniyatam Chittam. For that word, you need to know this. Maybe 2-3 classes we will go. Doesn't matter, because these are practically useful today to us. And if we utilize this, then this all shlokas will make sense. Otherwise, it is only booked and kept. That day Vyasacharya booked it, today we are booking it in English. No difference. Right? Chalo. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha, Panchayama. Next time we will start with that. No shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. All will tell that once and then we will continue. Hari Om. Dhanyavada.
Dhanyavad, sir.